Hey, Sortex here, and today I'm bringing you another deck profile. As you can see from the starter, we're going to be doing a Ripple deck profile. So yeah, it's a bit 2 weeks old now since the Aqua Force Clan which came out. Yeah, like about 2 weeks ago. Yeah, so it's 2 weeks late, but I've been playing around with it to try it out before I give out my deck list or whatever. Though I'm going to be honest with you. If you've seen other Ripple deck profiles, it is essentially the same. With some minor differences, but not a lot. Um, but yeah, uh, let's just get started with the deck profile. Starting Vanguard, we run Alecs, starting Ripple Alecs. He is the grade 0, the starting of the Ripple Ride Chain. His ability is that, like other ride chains, when you ride the grade 1 on top of it, you get to check the top 7 cards of your deck and search for the grade 2 and 3 and put it into your hand, and then shuffle your deck. So like every other starting Vanguard for Ripples, except for Tsukiyomi. Tsukiyomi is like different. And then he gets a Forerunner ability if you don't ride the grade 1 version of the ride chain. So yeah, not much else to say about Alecs. Next we run 4 Rolling Ripple Miltiadis. He is the new Legion that came out in Aqua Force Clan Booster. He legions with Genovious. So his ability is that when he attacks the Vanguard, if he is in Legion, and you have 3 or more rested units in the front row, remember if he's in Legion, him and Genovious counts as 2 units. So just a heads up about that. You choose one of your rear guards, stand it, then countercharge 1. Then if you have 3 or more resting units in the back row, you draw a card. So that his first ability is not too bad. You're going to get another attack in, which is good, from your rear guard. And you get to countercharge 1, so you're essentially getting back counterblast for like Genovious. I think he's the only other card that counterblasts in this deck. And then you draw a card. So you're drawing a card from his ability, then your twin checking. So you're essentially getting 3 cards that turn, which is pretty good. His other ability is that when you ride him onto Vanguard Circle, you can counterblast 1. Search your top 3 cards of your deck. Search for 1 Ripple, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Then the rest goes into the drop zone. That card essentially just helps fuel for Legion, basically. But you can do some kind of shenanigans with the new grade 1, which we will talk about later. So many shenanigans with this deck because of the support they got. Obviously, the last grade 3s you will run in this deck, it is Genovious. He is a double rare in set 11, and he is a Limit Breaker and the grade 3 of the Ride Chain. His second ability is that if you have the grade 2 in the soul, he becomes 11k body. So nothing special about that. It's just like every other Ride Chain. Then his first ability is the Limit Break 4 ability, Counterblast 2, and then Persona Blast. At the end of the battle, this unit attacks a Vanguard. If the number of rested Aqua Force units is 3 or more, it's just 3. Okay, if it's just 3, you may pay the cost. If you do, stand all of your Aqua Force rear guards. It's pretty alright because you're getting if you have a full field, you're getting two more attacks in. So that's pretty alright. Counterblast 2 is a little bit hefty, but like I said, Miltiadis, since they Legion, Miltiadis ability will be flipping 1, so you're basically just paying Counterblast 1 for his ability, which is alright. So yeah. Grade 2s, we run 4 Pavroth. He is the grade 2 of the Ride Chain, so obviously you're going to be running a full playset of him. His first ability is if you have the grade 1 in the soul, he becomes a 10k body, so like every other Ride Chain. Then his other ability is that when this unit hits a Vanguard and you have the grade 1 in the soul, you can choose one of your Aqua Force rear guards, stand it, and it gets plus 3k. So before, this ability would be meh because you're only staying at grade 2 for like 1 turn. But with the new support Aqua Force got, not just Aqua Force, Ripples got, you can essentially play the grade 2 game and just stay on him for like countless turns. Oh man, this is really disgusting, honestly. But yeah, but people are going to adapt to it, so it's not going to be much of a problem later on. But yeah, it's really it's putting pressure because your opponent's not going to let him hit, so they're going to be dropping cards in order to make sure you don't restand the rear guard. So yeah, so this is going to be one of the different. Well, maybe it's just the only difference, or no, it's one of the differences that this deck is from other Ripple decks. I run 4 Unruly Ripple Lapis. Most other decks would run 3 and 4 of the turtle, but I'll get to that later. So his ability is that when you attack, if you have 2 or more resty units with Ripple in the name, he becomes a 12k attacker, which is pretty good. 12k attacker is good. It's also not generation break restricted, which is really good. So you can play the grade 2 game and have him swing for like who knows how much, and it's till end of turn, so it's kind of stacks. Honestly, when if you stand him and attack with him again, it's stacks. So yeah, it's just lots of fun with him. So yeah, 4 of him. So the last card of the grade 2 is I'm going to be pretty iffy about. It depends. So the last spot in the grade 2 lineup, it totally depends on what you want to do. If you want to play like the rushing grade 2, then you run 4 of the Tidal Rescue Sea Turtle. His ability is that when you place him on Vanguard or Rear Guard, check the top card. If it's a grade 1 or 2 Aqua Force, you can call it to Rear Guard. If not, then shuffle your deck. So a lot of people are playing this card because obviously, oh yeah, place him, get like another card in for like another booster or attacker. So that essentially rushing your opponent. But the only problem is he's a 7k body. So yeah, so you need like, so at most, if you have like another 7k, he's going to attack him 14. That's only like a 5k guard. Well, you can swing the rear guard, then be a 10k guard or more depending on the rear guard. But yeah, this is for if you want to rush your opponent, essentially. No problem. Again, it's only 7k body. If you want to kind of have some kind of more pressure to it than just having an attack, you can run Ianis. He's a rare from set 16. His ability is not generation break restricted, so that's a plus. It's a on hit ability, so that's not a plus. And if it's third wave or more, you can draw a card, which is a plus. Yeah. So it's either up to you what you want to play. If you want to try to rush your opponent early game, then you'll probably run him just to try to get more units out. Only problem is that he has a 7k body and you're not guaranteed to get the grade 2 or 1 since you do have grade 3s and 0s. Then you, if you want some more kind of pressure, you can run him, obviously, but he's not going to be good late game because his on hit ability. So he's more like, again, he's also early game as well. So yeah, it's totally up to, and he's 9k body, so it's totally up to you which one you want to run. Right now I'm just running the turtle because a lot of people are recommending me to play the turtle. So yeah, yeah. So grade 1, so we run 4 Sotirio. He is the grade 1 of the right chain, so you're going to obviously run a playset of him. Ability is that if you have the grade 0 in the soul, he becomes the 8k body like every other right chain. And then his other ability is that if you do not ride the grade 2, you can check the top 7 cards, search for the grade 2, and ride it. So essentially helps you fix the ride chain. So yeah, nothing else much to say about it. Next card is what people really hate most about the Ripples right now. And obviously you need to run a playset of him. You run 4 of Flash Ripple Odysseus. Oh man, this card. Okay, yeah. So his ability is an act ability once per turn. You put a rear guard into your soul. You search your deck for 1 card that is the same grade as your Vanguard. Write it. Then shuffle your deck. If you do that, you choose a card from your soul with the same grade as your Vanguard and not name Odysseus. Call it to rearguard, and it gets plus 2k. It's an act ability, so you can do it before you attack, and it's once per turn, but per copy. So if you have 2 copies of Odysseus, you can essentially do it again 2 times, which is really annoying. This card does so many things with this deck. You can essentially play the grade 2 game by by putting a card into soul, get another grade 2 out, write it, then call out the grade 2, and then plus, I don't know how many, no, plus 2, and then you can, if you have more, you can essentially just do that and not ride for like who knows how many turns. And then after, when you can do Legion, oh man, when you get to grade 3, Legioning is going to be what the frig with this card. So with him and Odysseus, you're gonna ride your Legion. You're gonna mill because you want to mill. Then you're gonna seek the mate. You're gonna just put back triggers. Then you're not going to look for Genovious. Then after, what you're gonna do? You're gonna use Odysseus skill, put something to your soul, find another Miltiadis, ride it again, mill again, seek mate again, and then look for Genovious. So you're putting back more triggers and look for Genovious. If you have 2 more, if you have another one of him, you can say, no, I'm not going to look for my mate. Do it again, ride him again, mill cards again, then seek mate again, putting back more triggers. So it's just, oh man. So this card essentially does 2 things with this deck. If you can do the grade 2 game, then you can do sacky mill things with the Legion. It's kind of disgusting what Odysseus can do. Like, oh man. So yeah, there's like many things you can do with this deck. But if you're playing against cards that does field control, like Brawlers, which can like wipe out your whole field, or Kagero, which can retire units, then you're gonna have like a pretty bad advantage. Otherwise, like, this card. Next, we run 2 of the Penguin Soldier, Soul Blast 2, draw a card. That's about it. Helps you feel for Legion as well. So yeah. Lastly, for grade 1s, we run 4 Perfect Guards. Not the G Perfect Guards, because honestly, this deck does not counter blast at all. The only counter blast you're getting is from Miltiadis and Genovious, but Miltiadis is already unflipping 1. So there's really no point in having like unflippers right now. So you're going to run 4 old Perfect Guards to protect your rear guards if you want to protect them. Yeah. Finally, trigger lineups, you're going to run 8 crits. If you want to feel lucky, if you want to feel ballsy, you can run 12. Though I have not tried it out yet, but if you like the idea of running 12 crits in a deck, then you could. But for me, right now I'm doing 8. And you're going to use, obviously you're going to use the new Ripple crit, which is when he boosts after the battle, this card boosted, you put him to the bottom of the deck, you search top 5, look for 1 Ripple and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. Essentially, you're just going to get more Ripples stuff, so you're just plussing your hand right there. 4 draws, if you would like to draw power, then draw trigger. If you want the +3, run the Mallika, yeah. And then 4 heals, because heals are heals, you're going to need them. I wish they show up for me when I play this deck. So yeah, that's all for this deck, but we do have to talk about Stride, because Ripples did get a Stride. So, and since we're in an era of striding, you're going to have to talk about the Strides. So for Strides, I'm going to have 4 of the Ripple Strides. Surging Ripple Prodromos. He is alright, I'm not going to lie. His ability is on hit, Persona Flip, check top 5, call 2 Ripples. Again, late game, you're not going to be using him because they're going to be guarding the attack. But honestly, with Ripples, you're not going to stride that often. Blizza, just because. Actually, you can run Madu if you want, because Genovious is a 10k body. Or if you want like a finisher, you can run Blizza. But yeah, just as a finisher. One of the promo card, I don't know how to say his name. Marine General of the Heavenly Silk, Astrotel. Ability is that when he attacks the Vanguard, if it's a third battle or more, you can counterblast one and retire a rear guard. So not too bad. Force retire. And then to Tidal War Dragon. I'm not going to pay money for Lambros, so I'm not going to get Lambros. Ability is when he hits the Vanguard, if it's third battle or third wave battle, whatever or more, you draw a card and choose a card from your hand and call it to rear guard. It's meh, but again, I'm not paying for Lambros, so whatever. And that's basically it for this deck profile. Honestly, you're not going to be striding with ripples. You're just going to be, from what I've seen for strategies, you're just going to be staying. As annoying as it does work sometimes. Honestly, just for ripples, you're just going to be staying grade 2 for most of the game, just to like hit your opponent hard and make them drop cards in their hand. Then after, once you see, you're going to have you can kill them that turn. You're going to do stupid things like that. And where's Odysseus? You have like copies, like you have 3 of them, you're good. Do like stupid things. Bride, mill, then put back triggers, then not seek mate, then do Odysseus again, ride, put back triggers, not seek mate, third time. Well, you don't have to go to that extreme, but ride, then mill, put back triggers, and then just sack them with your deck full of triggers. Yeah, that's basically what you do with ripples. But anyways, that is it for this deck profile. It's a fun deck, though I don't really have much luck with any decks that I play that are right chains, so yeah. Yeah, but that's it for this deck profile, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.